Wanted to talk about the NBA. I will not be going live at I don't even know what it would be. I guess like 4:30 Eastern. I'm not going to be able to do that. So I did want to get an NBA show out. Had a good NBA night last night again. Back-to-back good ones. Ready to make it a third in a row. And I thought we talked through this slate. And I think it's kind of it's interesting because we actually have a little bit of news, but I personally am operating under the impression that anybody who's questionable is more likely to play than not, as it's the playoffs. But it wouldn't surprise me if someone ended up having to sit here. And I don't know. I don't know what to do with the Middleton part of it. That's the thing, but it's not going to matter for me anyway, because I am going to be well overweight Damian Lillard. I'm going to be well overweight pretty much everybody here, to be honest with you. I don't know who I would even put as my second priority on Milwaukee, because I do want a lot of exposure and, hope this game stays close. You've got the best game environment, the most points scored, all that stuff. And definitely want a lot of exposure here. But as of right now, I have Lillard as the priority. I do think you could include Portis. You could include Brook Lopez. I think that's a reasonable value. I'm actually surprised he's not getting a little more love ownership wise. Even Goldie has him a little bit lower. I think it's a fair enough play. So I'm okay with. I'm probably going to have at least $2 on most of my teams, but right now Lillard is the one I'm putting the biggest priority on because I think they're going to need him to stay close. Siakam, we're just not going to stop going back to the well. We called this out before these playoffs started, that Siakam is more the guy that we're looking for. No issue if you want to go to Halliburton instead or both, but it is going to be hard to get both in as there's not much value. I'm going to play the Obi Toppin again. I mentioned the other night, he put up 21 fantasy points, got up to 20 minutes. I'm good with that. And I like Nesmith also as a middling play. So I actually like quite a bit from this side. I'm totally good with Turner, but I have Turner and Portis as so similar that to click on either of them is a little bit hard at the moment. But I like the idea of getting to at least two of these guys, the Siakam, Nesmith, Toppin. For me, it's probably going to be more Toppin just because I need the value, but that's really the only reason why. And say what's up when you guys get on in here. I'll post my early builds, my exposure before lock and all that stuff a little bit later today. Moving over to the Clippers in Dallas. With everybody here, it's really hard to get to the Clippers. I would just say if you're multi-entering or playing more than 20 lineups, I would try to go out of my way to get exposure to basically all of these guys. Kawhi and Paul George would probably be my highest. I don't know. It's close with Harden. It's really close between all three. But I would probably try to get, overweight at least to Paul George because he's the lowest owned of the bunch. We've got him at 10%. Even if Harden ends up 10%, like getting 20% of these guys and just ending up with a Clipper, I don't think you're going to feel bad about it just to get a little bit different. They did close with Westbrook. If they're down, you could see more Westbrook tonight. So that's a sort of off the board play. I think is okay. And then Zubac, I'm fine with, but not making him a priority. And none of those guys quite make the priority list. Just I think it's interesting as a way of playing to try to get a little bit overweight on them. Sadly, because of the lack of value, I probably would end up underweight Luka on this slate. I do think that it's kind of silly because I think this projection should be closer to 70, and they've done a pretty good job of actually keeping him in that low 60s. But I think getting to one of Luka, Kyrie, definitely interesting. Neither quite makes the priority. I do like these middling things. So early on, I'm going to put in PJ Washington. Been playing plenty of minutes. Actually played really well the other night. And I think it is completely reasonable as a guy you can use for, he's got multi-position eligibility, reasonable price, reasonable projection. I actually think the projection could be a little bit higher. In fact, I'm going to make it 27 because I feel like that's really the number it should be. And it's not going to make a huge difference, but I do think that's where I have him a little bit higher. Let's see where Goldie has him just out of curiosity. Yeah, Goldie's got him at 26. See, look, me and Goldie in lockstep. Like I have him at 27 as a median here. So Derrick Jones Jr. and Josh Green would be the value plays. If I had to pick one, I'd pick Derrick Jones Jr. right now. I don't mind the Josh Green thing, but that's where I would be. And look, you can always talk me into a very low-owned Kleba who's played 27 and 25 minutes. What do they have Kleba for minutes here? Because they've got him at 20, and we just haven't seen evidence that he would only play 20. So let's just see. Well, actually, I can't do it here, but if we pretend Kleba has 26 minutes, okay, we can do this pretty smartly. Then he's projected out around 14 or 15. I think that that's actually a good enough reason to play him. So you can play him with Toppin and get to some of these spend ups that you like if you wanted a route that was kind of interesting to me. Otherwise, moving on to Minnesota, I love Anthony Edwards here. I think I would want to, again, be overweight, but you just can't be overweight everybody. I would want to try to find a way, maybe that weird Kleba or Green or Jones with Toppin is a way you could do it. I do like Gobert just fine. I feel like everybody I have on Minnesota today is fine, but I actually disagree with the I mean, what do we have him for minutes wise? I know he's not a great point per minute guy, but 33, I'll take the over on that. I think Jaden McDaniels median should be about 37, 36 here. I really do expect to see a lot of him. You also have Naz Reid coming off the 6th man of the year, so you might see a little more Naz Reid today. I think it might even be for Gobert, actually, and Gobert Towns, but I think you might even – I just think there's a chance that there's an upside on those minutes. So I like Naz Reid a lot as a tournament play, and I like Anthony Edwards a lot as a tournament play. Those would be my 2 top tournament plays. Gobert would be the next one. And I think that an unowned cat, is certainly – I couldn't argue with it. Didn't get to the Nickeil Alexander-Walker today, but he's been really good. I'd like to keep it kind of tight here. They're up 2-0, so they have a little more wiggle room where maybe I don't want to say give up earlier if they're down. I don't think that's going to be the case necessarily either, but yeah, there's just a chance they might play more guys than I think Phoenix is going to tonight. And we have the big Q tag on Grayson Allen. He did try to warm up, but he's unable to do a lot of stuff. I don't know how much he's going to play. Eric Gordon would be the guy who I think you'd look at as the beneficiary if that's out, but it's just hard to know at this hour if that's going to be the case. So I really don't know what to do with that one. I love the idea of getting to one of Kevin Durant, Beal, or Booker. I like Booker the best, so he's the one I'm going to probably have the most of. And it's not going to be anything different. You're going to see pretty consistent ownership on all those guys. Beal will get the most ownership because of his price. But yeah, so that's sort of a quick first look of how it goes. I'll be in Discord for everybody throughout the day. If you wanted to ask questions or anything, I'll post my exposures and all that stuff so you can see where I'm at, what I'm doing. I feel like I'm dialed back into NBA in a way that I haven't been in a while. The playoffs, playing real basketball and watching every game is making me like, I feel like I'm pretty dialed in right now. So I think this is a time where maybe I'll say that hey, maybe listen to me a little bit more than I was suggesting that you do at the end of the season, because at the end of the season it was just a wild free for all. And yeah, anyway. All right. Well, we appreciate you guys very much. Thanks for joining me on this. It would have been nice if we could have gone before lock, and if I can, I'll jump in and do it. I made plans because I didn't, I make my week plans on Monday, and I just didn't occur to me that they'd be playing a game at 2:30 Pacific time. I wasn't ready for that. So I thought we'd get all of the games during the week in the evenings, at least until next week. So I was just a little caught off guard today. Anyway, guys, good luck to everybody out there. We appreciate you very much. Get the thumbs up, the like. We appreciate it. And